Hello and welcome to Elizabeth's Craft Room. Last month in class we made these cute little mini crackers, but how would you like to make just a slightly bigger one? These are great. I think these are going to make absolutely brilliant crackers, and crackers are not just for Christmas. We can do these any time of year and they make a great gift box. So I'm going to show you how to make this with the new Stampin' Up envelope punch board. So let's get started. First, what we need is a piece of, I'm using Whisper White here, and this is 12 inches by 11 inches. So just cut an inch off the edge. Now on the 12-inch side, I'll bring my scorer, my trimmer in, which has got the scoring on. A little green on there that's come from somewhere. Let's flip that over so that's hidden. On the 12-inch side, we are going to need to score at 2.5 inches, at 3 inches, at 3.5 inches, and then at 8.5, at 9, and at 9.5 inches. Then I'm going to turn it, and on the 11-inch side I'm going to score at 2.5, at 5, at 7.5, and at 10. Oops, let's not use the cutter, that would not be a good thing at this point. Okay, so there's all my scoring done. And I'm just going to go ahead and fold now on the long scores. Now I'm just folding in that little 1-inch piece first, and I'm going to bring in my envelope punch board. And really this should just be called a punch board because there's so many things you can do other than envelopes. I'm going to line this up. It's actually at 3 inches on here, and that's going to make my middle piece in between the 3 scores that I've already done. You probably can't see that terribly well on the camera, but I'm lining it 3 inches there, and that's going to be right in the middle, and I'm going to go ahead and punch that. So you are going through 2 layers, so give that a good push down. And that's really why I'm doing this base in Whisper White. So I would do this in white or vanilla as my base and then add colour. Or you could do it in designer series paper. But doing it with the cardstock gives you a bit of a stronger and a firmer cracker when you're done. So I'm now going to fold to the next score line. Again, line that up at 3 inches. And can you see what I'm doing is actually flipping in between those? So I'm 3 inches again and punch again. Fold, 3 inches and punch. Fold, 3 inches and punch. And I'm going on to the next one and same again. Making sure that's all the way up to the top there. And punch. Flip it and punch, and then we've got one more to do, and that's going to be on this piece here, and you'll see why when we put it together, otherwise that piece would show. So we're now just going through 1 layer right at the end, and that is actually our cracker ready to go. Let's take those little pieces out. So the next thing I'm going to do is to decorate before I put this together, and I'm starting off with some designer series paper. Now this one is done from the same pack. Let me just show you because it's so gorgeous. This is the in colour stack that we do, and we do it in both the year's worth of in colours, but these I think are just, how gorgeous are those? Just beautiful. So this time I'm taking the soft brown sugar. This one here was the strawberry slush. So I'm going to make this a bit more of a masculine one. And I'm just going to stick those. Now these are 4 inches by 2 inches for the larger pieces. So we need 4 of those. I'm just putting those right in the middle. And then 2 inches by 2 inches for the edge pieces. So I'll just go ahead and get those stuck. Okay, so I've now stuck all of those pieces on. So next we need to do some folding. So what we want is these little inner ridges to go inwards. So the best way to do it, put your designer paper piece down, fold that way, and I'm going to take my bone folder and reinforce that fold. Then I'm going to fold upwards and reinforce that middle fold, and then downwards again. And that's what you get, that's the shape that you get. So let's do that on the other one. So downwards first, away from the designer paper, upwards towards it, and downwards. Okay, you can see this actually coming together. You just need to stick that now along that piece there. And I'm going to use Tombow, always my favourite adhesive. Nice and strong, and gives you some wiggle room when you first put it down to make sure you've got it straight. So we're going to do that. Now the easiest way, I'll just flatten those down a little bit, is just to fold that in half. So I've got my Tombow piece, my inch piece faced up with Tombow on it, and just fold that in half. And that's very easy to get it nice and straight that way. And there are my pieces. Isn't that great? How easy is that? Okay, I'm going to get some ribbon. So I'm going to use some crumb cake taffeta ribbon this time on this box. And I'm just going to tie a bow at each end. I should probably fiddle with that later. Make that a little neater, as it will do for now, just for the video to show you what it is I'm doing. So, and another bow this end. And then we'll do a little decoration. Now, because I'm thinking this is more of a masculine colour, the other one was very pretty. I'm going to go for baked brown sugar. And I'm going to use Lovely as a Tree. Stamp set that's been around for such a long time, but there's a very good reason why. It's because it's lovely. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp that in the baked brown sugar and punch out with my 1 3/4 inch circle punch. Let's take that piece there. I'm going to take some gumball green, and the greeting I'm going to use is from Itty Bitty Banners, and it's the Happy Birthday. Oh, that's not gumball green. Let's have another go at that. That one's gumball green. Now we do have a framelit die to cut this out, but believe it or not, I do not own everything in the catalogue. I'm working on it. So I'm actually just going to hand cut this one out. I'm going to take a gumball green adorber. Just daub off a little bit, because I just want to add a little bit of, let's have a little bit of spring coming through on those trees. Okay. And I'm going to take the large punch and rattling in my cupboard, I'm going to use some baked brown sugar and punch the large circle punch. This is our biggest one, which is the 2.5 inch circle. And I'm going to layer that up. And then I'm just going to pop those, oops, that's in the shot, pop those up with a couple of dimensionals on the back. And little edge bit of dimensionals, always useful. That. I think I'll just have it there. That's lovely. Now, one more thing I'm going to show you. I made this, because this one's not quite so girly, I made this a little bit more girly still by using the dotted scallop ribbon border punch, and I just punched round here with the designer paper. If you're going to do that, stick that on before you actually roll up your box. So that was just a little bit of extra trim on this one. The other thing I did, which you could do, if you look into the end, I don't know how well you can see, I'm going to lift my camera, there you go. You can see that although it does close in, you have still got quite a hole there. It is actually quite a substantial box. So what you might like to do is, on one end, I have cut a 2 inch by 2 inch piece of cardstock and a little square of designer series paper to go over the top, and actually made a little closure, closed that off. And in the other end, I've got a little piece that pops out. So that actually closes up. So what I'd do is probably just put one glue dot underneath there so the recipient can pull that out. And then what they can do to get into that big piece of the box without destroying it is just undo their bow and then pull this piece out, and then you've got the access, the full-size access into the middle, if that makes sense. So I hope you've enjoyed your visit today to Elizabeth's Craft Room. Remember, the envelope punch board is not just for envelopes. I hope to see you again soon, and enjoy your stamping day.